I wanted to talk about something real quick, man. I'm out here at Eagle Mountain Lake, and it's crazy because you can see these trees behind me. I always tell people, man, inside these trees on this trail, nothing exist. There's no attachments. I'm not worried about anything. The only thing that exists is me and my mindset, is me pushing through obstacles, me pushing through challenges. I tell people all the time, the reason I train and run 8 miles, is not because of the health benefits. Yeah, that's definitely, I'm sorry if it's windy. I'm gonna try to get by these trees. It's definitely one of the reasons, but the main reason is to train myself to push through breakthroughs. It's to train myself when I hit a wall to show myself I can conquer it. And I wanna make that contagious throughout my whole life. I wanna show you guys something real quick as I sit down. Reason why I got you on here. You see this tree right here? Well, the trunk. When I ran by this, instant thought came to my mind and said, you know what? A lot of us are like this tree trunk. What we do is we cut off, and I really want you to think right now. I really want you to dive deep and understand this. But a lot of us, we cut off certain things in our life, right? We cut off these branches. We cut off these people. We cut off these certain things that we think are holding our life back. And I want to tell you something. As long as you don't get down to the root issues of your life, your real problems that are deep, you will stay stuck in the same place like this tree. As you see, the roots are deep, right? This tree hasn't moved. And a lot of times with our life, we're just like this tree. We have all these things and we make these temporary changes by, changing our job or by changing relationships or by changing friendships. We do all these things, but we don't realize that a lot of our problems stem way deep. And as long as you keep your root issues, your problems that you're going through will find its way back to the surface. You will settle again. You will think you're not enough again. That mindset will come back up and your change will be temporary. It won't be lasting. And you have to understand it takes time. Those things didn't happen overnight, so that change isn't going to happen overnight. But yes, everything can't happen overnight. I hope you get that. But change takes a process. And I want you guys to really be real with yourself and dig deep. It can stem from, what you saw from your parents. It can stem from your childhood. It can stem from 2 years ago, a month ago. But a lot of us, we have built these habits over time, and these roots are stuck in our life. And we wonder why we can't move forward. We wonder why we can't let go. And we wonder why our mindset is stuck. And I tell people this all the time. You're not settling because it just didn't happen, right? You just didn't decide to settle. No, more than likely, you've been settling your whole entire life in some form or fashion. You didn't just think you're not worth nothing all of a sudden. More than likely, even if you consciously didn't know it, you've been teaching yourself to not think you're worth nothing your whole entire life. At some point, and the beautiful thing about this is that when you feel like you're not enough, when you feel like you're settling, I think that's a great thing because it's showing you that you're accepting less. I feel like if you're really accepting less in your life and you don't know it, that's a bad problem. But when you acknowledge that and you understand that, wait, this isn't right. Wait, I don't feel right. Wait, I need more from my life. That means that at some point in your life, you went against your worth. At some point in your life, you went against everything that you knew you were. And you decided to take a chance. Maybe it was with a person. Maybe it was with a job. Maybe it was with a friendship, whatever it may be. You decided to take a chance because maybe something on the outside looked better. Maybe the presentation looked good. Maybe it was wrapped up beautiful. But at the end of the day, when you dug in deep, you saw what was real. You realized that this wasn't what it was. And a lot of times in marriages and relationships, that happens is that we are so wrapped up inside the presentation. We are so wrapped up inside what we like. We are so wrapped up inside what we see that we don't really realize when we get into that relationship or that marriage, we get into a relationship with everything about that person. Not just the things that look beautiful. You get into the good, the bad, and ugly. But a lot of times we do see those things in those people, but we overlook those things because we're so wrapped up inside the presentation. So I encourage you guys that get to know somebody, whether it's a friendship or relationship, get to know everything about that person and fall in love with everything about that person. All right. But back to my subject is that if you really want to make a change, it's time for you to dig deep and stop playing with yourself. All right. Because you can make a temporary change all you want. You can cut people off. You can do this. You can do that. But as long as the root issue stays the same, you will find your way back to that problem. You'll find your way back to that mindset. You'll find your way back to that relationship. If it's not that relationship, you'll get into another relationship that was just like that relationship. And we wonder why we do that, right? We get into the same exact relationship with the same exact person. And we wonder why we're hurt again, even if it's not that person. And we say, well, why did I settle again? You settled again because your mindset hasn't changed. right? You're still focused on what you don't need to focus on. So spend some time with yourself. You know, loneliness is not a bad thing, or being alone. When I say loneliness, people take it all wrong. You're not alone. You're not lonely. You're alone. Loneliness alone can be power, because it's like this trail. When nobody's out here with me, I get to really focus and dive in deep with myself. I get to really understand my weaknesses. I get to understand my strengths. I get to talk to God. I get to understand where I want to go. It's a lot of peace. My peace is protected. I get to focus. So I challenge you guys. You know, one challenge I'm going to give you guys before I get out of here and get my way back for the rest of these 4 miles and start my day. One thing I want to challenge you guys is to really dig deep. Ask yourself why. If you keep asking yourself why, even if it's 1,000 whys, eventually you'll find your way back to the problem, or it'll lead you closer to it. But I want to challenge you guys, maybe not every day, but I want you guys to go somewhere, a trail. You know, this is my trail. It's beautiful. I want to challenge you guys to find something, maybe to walk around the block, where you can really protect your peace, when you can really just be you and God, you and your mindset, you and your weaknesses, you and your strengths, you and your worth, you and what you're selling for, and just really understand and ask yourself these questions, why, until you can start to find some answers, so you can start to dig inside the roots, all right? Every day, maybe twice a week, 3 times a week, whatever, long as it's a few times a week, you know, make it happen with your life, because it's time for you to stop having that mindset that you're having. It's time for you to stop believing that you're not enough and you were created enough. And I always tell you guys that, because it's so true. Can't nobody give you what you don't want to accept. Acceptance is always in your control. Realize that. Yeah, it might be hard when somebody's consistently or constantly around you and they keep giving you pain, whatever it may be. It's hard to not accept those things or believe those things. But if you realize that you're in control of what you accept, can't nobody force you to do anything without killing you. And still, if they kill you, they can't take your soul. Can't nobody force you to do anything. And so realize that you're in control of what you give and what you accept. But I want you guys to dig deep and find where those root issues are coming from. Is it from your parents? Is it what you saw growing up? Is it a relationship that you had back in high school? Is it something your kid told you? Is it something your boss told you? You know, even the subtlest things can have the biggest impacts. The things that you think weren't big could be a seed planted, and those seeds can be watered by negativity. All it takes is one little negative seed to be watered by negativity over and over and over again. And you start to believe that little seed that was planted in your life, and it grows into this big tree, and now you're just a person walking around with negativity in your life. So realize that, dig up those seeds, replace those seeds of doubt with seeds of faith, replace those seeds of doubt with seeds of strength, replace those seeds of doubt with seeds of confidence, replace those seeds of doubt with seeds of everything that God has created you to be. All right. You can dig it up. You have your shovel. God is giving you a shovel. That shovel might be prayer. I'm going somewhere right now. That shovel might be prayer. That shovel might be hard work. That shovel might be fellowship. That shovel might be worship. That shovel might be conversation. But realize you have a shovel. You have the tool where you can dig up everything that's been planted in your life. You can dig it up and get rid of it for life, and plant what needs to be planted in your life, so your life can grow the way it needs to grow. Like I tell you guys at the end of every single video, it all starts with you. Let's get it.